Hello, my name is Rocco Beatrice. I'm the Managing Director for Estate Street Partners. The subject is Medicaid. Complex subject. It's a confiscatory system of having you pay for your own health care. Essentially, Medicaid is the government assistance program designed for those that have absolutely no assets, in which case the state pays for your medical care in a nursing home. If you have to access a nursing home, and you file it for Medicaid, the government assistance program, they want you to list all of the assets that you presently have and have had transferred for the past 60 months, beginning the date that your application is filed. They arrive at a computation of available assets, or what they refer to as countable assets. Countable assets are assets that you have titled in your name, titled in your spouse's name. They are combined for purposes of determining your eligibility for Medicaid. You will have to provide a list of your assets, cash, CDs, even if you're going to be inheriting any money soon, to determine whether or not you're eligible for the state to pay as opposed to you having to pay. The real problem is when you have two people, husband and wife. If the nursing home cost care is going to be, say, $5,000 to $10,000 a month, how quickly will your assets evaporate? Now, there's all kinds of rules and regulations. For example, if you own your own home, the spouse can live in the home, but the state can attach the home. So when both of you die, or both of you end up in a nursing home and are unlikely going to return to your home, the state, in effect, will sell your home and recoup some of the costs. Those are the state enabling acts that once you pass on, the nursing home has the right to recoup the resources that were spent on your behalf. Now, what kinds of things can you do to mitigate the cost of Medicaid? The most significant part of this problem is husband and wife. One goes in, one is outside. They call the community spouse, the spouse that is not in the nursing home, and the person in the nursing home accessing the services, who is going to pay. The computations are based on what income you're getting. For example, if you're getting dividend income, interest income, Social Security, or pension, in the shortfall between all that is going to be against the countable assets. Countable assets, again, are the assets are owned jointly with the spouse, whether or not jointly owned or separately owned. Husband and wife's assets are considered to be assets available for paying the Medicaid or nursing home. One of the ways to mitigate is to, early enough, to set up an irrevocable trust with an independent trustee, transfer the assets to the trust. Better to do something than nothing. But if you are unfortunate, for example, you set up the trust today, and 4 years from today, one of you gets sick and has to access the nursing home, and the nursing home cost, let's say for all practical purposes, is $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year, you only have 1 year to go, you'll make a decision at that point. If your assets in the trust, let's say, are $750,000, do you apply for Medicaid in the 4th year? Again, let's recoup this. You set up a trust. 4 years later, one of you has to go into a nursing home. At that point, you have the option of applying for Medicaid or not. Applying for Medicaid, you have to disclose that you moved your assets, $750,000, from you to the trust. That becomes a countable asset available to pay for your Medicaid. and you have to spend it down to $2,000. The other option is not to tell them anything about it. Don't apply for Medicaid. That way you don't have the responsibility of telling them where your money is. You simply pay the 5th year. You pay the 5th year. You just saved a whole ton of money. It's going to cost you $120,000 to save the other $750,000. Thank you, Rocco Beatrice. To read more about this subject and other subjects, visit ultratrust.com.